What's up, y'all? It's Lil Raj here with another video today, and today we have a big box for you guys today. So we will be doing a 1 to 200 scale model unboxing. So with that being said, guys, I'll go ahead and review what we're going to be unboxing today. So here we have the Concorde from JC Wings, as you can see in this nice big orange box. And then you can see on the title 1 to 200 British Airways Concorde, and you can see the livery is like the older style livery. The registration here is Golf Nevada 94 Alpha Bravo. So the reason why I purchased this model is I figured it'd be another one I can take into work and have it work. I believe this was kind of, I don't know if it's the exact same registration or not, but this Concorde was one of the first to fly into DFW Airport 50 years ago, whenever DFW Airport first opened. So I'm sure you guys have seen some posts from DFW Airport about them having their 50th anniversary. So since I work for that airport, I figured this would be a nice addition to my collection, as well as a nice set to have in my office space and a little cubicle at the airport. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and get into the unboxing here. So, but before we do that, just make sure to go off the checklist as usual. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. And without further ado, let's prepare for takeoff. So go ahead and take the top of the box off. So you can see here, JC Wings has a slightly different packaging method compared to the other model makers like Gemini Jets and NG. But here, taking the lid off, we have this styrofoam covering on top of the model, which is, in my opinion, very nice. So we'll take this out, set it aside, and then looking into the box here, we have our model along with the stand. We also have a warning here. So looking at the warning, it just basically warns about the fragile parts. So here you can see warning, contains fragile parts. Please do not operate thrust reverser with hands or will cause damages. So the English seems to be off a little bit here, incorrect here, but that being said, we'll go ahead and put this little sheet aside for now. Go ahead and look at the model. And as you can see here, we have a stand. So let's see if I can get it out without too much of a struggle here. Kind of have to wiggle it a little bit here. And underneath the stand, as you can see, we have our collector's card. So here it says British Airways Concorde. It has a registration, so it just basically looks like the same from what we saw at the top of the box. And then on the back of the card here, we have these specifications, so like the manufacturer, British Aerospace Concorde, the overall length, which is 61.66 meters, wingspan, which is 25.6 meters, the height, which is 8.9 meters, and then the engine type. So here it says like the Rolls-Royce Sinecma Olympus 593. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And then you can see here at the bottom it says British Airways and the 1 to 200 scale version. So I'll put that back in the box for now, and then we can take a look here. So we have our different gear configurations, so you can see kind of here, make sure it's within view of the camera, the gear down, as well as other additional pieces, I believe, for the gear up position, if I'm correct. Or maybe that was gear down and there's another back here, and then this one's probably the gear up version. So it's in a separate bag from the gear down. That being said, now I'll attempt to take the model out of the little casing here. Gotta be gentle. It's kind of snug in there. But here we have the model. The noise is quite sharp and pointy. Probably could stab someone if you ever had evil intentions or needed a weapon of self-defense. I'm gonna go ahead and take her out and set her up, and then I'll see you guys in the next one. Or in a little bit. Not the next one, but in a little bit. So I put the model on the stand, but I haven't put in the gear down configuration yet. I figured I'd show you what it looks like and the pieces that come with it. So you can see here we have the different gears, like the nose gear and then the main landing gear. And then we also have here this little piece here where it goes to help in case of like tail strikes or anything like that. This little gear will be in the very back around like this area of the plane. Alright y'all, now that we have the model set up with our gear down configuration, we can go ahead and start towards the front here. So you can see here where we have the snoot. As I mentioned, super pointy, so be careful whenever holding this model or walking around with this model. Don't want anyone accidentally running into it and poking their eye out, because it is pretty sharp. But moving along, we got decent to good detail here. So the snoot doesn't really move that much, just a little wiggle room here. But moving along, so we got good detail here. We got this part here for the aerodynamics. Good detail towards the L1 door, and you can see the British Airways logo. And behind the cockpit windows, we got our cheat line that goes all the way to the back of the aircraft. And it's a little bit difficult to see on this model, but you can see kind of where the windows are within the cheat line, so it's easier to see on camera than it is in person or like the human eye. You kind of gotta look closely at the model in order to see it. But with that being said, moving along, there's good detail here. You can see the flap for the nose gear here, or the front gear here, where it says A, B, or Alpha Bravo as a part of the registration. And then looking towards the winged area of the aircraft. So we got good detail here, but it's all painted on. It's not like any indentations really. And then we have the L2 door here, and then we got good detail here across the wings, and then you can see towards the back. So we have at the back of the wing good detail, like the controls here, and then like the thrusters at the back, and then more detail going towards the back. You can see also, because we have the gear down configuration as well, you can see here the wheel at the back for the event of a tail strike. And then looking at the tail, so it's the old British Airways livery, so it's slightly different, where we have like the stripes going like this, and then the red upper tail section. So now looking at the aft of the aircraft, or the back of the aircraft here. I'll readjust the camera. So the back here, you got some more detail. This end of the aircraft is also very pointy as well. And then there's not too much other details, but there's a decent view of like the engines and the thrusters from the back. And they also kind of turn. I didn't realize that, but you can turn them a little bit. So I don't know if that's how the model is supposed to be, or like, because these turn as well, but some of them are like stuck. This one doesn't, but the outer one does. Let's see. Okay, so it's just the inner ones don't do it, but the outer ones kind of can move around. I don't know if you can see it on camera. But there. I'm moving to the right side here, so it's almost the same as the other side. So trying to compare differences here. Looking, I don't think there's too much of a difference looking back and forth. But if I'm correct, it looks interesting because it's like here the doors seem lower on this side. Like if you look here, the door is lower. Like the cheat line goes above the door, the top part of the door. And then you look here, that cheat line goes through, like towards more of the middle of the front door, which is interesting to see. And then other details, Nothing too much, just the same, basically going up to the front of the aircraft. But you can see, like, I guess, speaking of the doors, like this one also looks a little bit lower compared to the left side, and same with this one as well. So looking from the front, here we have, I don't know why it looks so off in the camera. I guess I gotta move it more to the left side of the phone, so it's right in front of the lens. But here you can see on the stand is pretty nice. It's the metal stand here, and then it has the British Airways, and then it has the Concorde scale 1 to 200 as well. But looking at the front, I'm going back to the model, so we got an antenna that sticks out here, and then we got some more details where it sticks out there towards the back as we go along towards the tail. And yeah, you can see the cockpit windows, and then you can kind of still see how sharp and sleek it is at the front as well. So then we can move on to the bottom of the aircraft here. Like, it'll come off stand. So you can see here, starting at the back, we got very good detail here, like the engines, the warnings, and like all the painted stuff on. You can also see like where the landing gears and like the tail strike wheel comes in. So these all fit pretty well. I'm not gonna take them out, but like it's obvious, like the way you put it in, there's only one direction you can put it in, so they won't fit properly if you put it in the wrong direction. So it's pretty easy to tell which direction they're supposed to go in. But we have good detail here, so you can see like where the gears supposedly like fold in, or like they fold in on the real one. And then here we have the stand, or the hole for the stand. We got another antenna that sticks out here, and then we have our nose gear, and then you can see where the nose gear folds in on the real aircraft, and then more detail and stuff of the different instruments on the aircraft. Alright, so here we have it in full view. I'll go ahead and show you from all the angles now. So here we have it from the left side, and then we have it from the aft of the aircraft, and then we have it from the right side of the aircraft, and then we have it from the front of the aircraft. So I'll lower this camera stand, and you can kind of see how aerodynamic it looks, and how sharp and pointy the nose is. It's kind of amazing to see. And the camera can't focus because it kind of makes it look blurry, but it is very thin and pointy, which is pretty cool. So also as well, I'll show you what the stand looks like. So I covered it briefly before, but here we have the stand. So it's just a one-piece stand. It's made of metal, as you can kind of hear when I set it down. And then it says the British Airways, and it's the older logo, so you can see like the capital B and then the lowercase a for the Airways. And then it shows Concorde. So it's in the scale 1 to 200 model. And then this is what it looks like on the bottom, so one piece, and nothing really that you have to screw in or anything like that. On this side, it's already all done for you as well, which is nice. But yeah, that's the stand as well. So that about wraps up the review, but one of the reasons why I picked this model was basically because it was one of the first Concordes, or at least in this livery, it was one of the first Concordes to land at DFW Airport. So I'll include a picture in the video for you guys, but I figured this kind of has like a significance because DFW Airport's hitting their 50th birthday, and this Concorde was one of the first to arrive, along with an Air France Concorde and to celebrate the opening of the airport 50 years ago. Kind of amazing to think it's 50 years, basically double my age as I'm 25, but this model looks really nice, and I know it'll be a nice collection to have at my office space at the airport, along with my other models I have there, and it'll be really festive in terms of that 50th birthday for the airport. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.